Welcome to MidLIFE Matters, where we celebrate women's wisdom and wit. I'm Georgian Lussier, your host, and I'm delighted to introduce today's guest, Dawn McDaniel. Dawn works to increase people's awareness of the value that veterans contribute to the workplace. Welcome, Dawn.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and you're a veteran yourself. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Many people in your family have served.
Yes.
What inspired you the most to address what you call this cultural divide between people that are what we might call civilians, I guess, and those that have military experience?
Well, the first thing was I didn't realize that there was a divide. So when I came out of the military service, I decided that I was going to take on the world and do great things just like I had done in the military. However, what I found was that a lot of people, especially here in the Northeast when I moved here, they didn't understand what military culture was. A lot of people didn't believe me when I said that I was a veteran. They didn't think I looked like a veteran, I didn't act like a veteran, and they really didn't have any exposure or understanding of what a veteran really meant. So several years in the workplace and struggling with trying to be all I can be, because that's what I joined the military to do, I started to realize that there was a bigger divide that needed to be addressed.
And what are some of the barriers? What aspects of life? I mean, certainly work. I would imagine education, people going back to school.
Certainly. Education is one, but one that's often overlooked is the uniform. So when I got up every day, I would put on a uniform. I was told what to wear. I was told where to go. I was told how to do it. And now I had all of these freedoms and all of these choices, and I wasn't sure what blouse to put with what pants and what's business casual anyway, and what does that really mean, especially from a woman's perspective. And so I stumbled a lot with some of those kinds of challenges that didn't seem like challenges, but really impacted my confidence and my ability to communicate to people around me.
How does the concept of teams differ for those who have military experience and what you've experienced in, say, corporate America or civilian life?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think it's often very misunderstood. When military comes together as a team, it's not just everybody bringing their own piece and then working towards a common goal like we see in the corporate world. I know for me, when I got out, I expected people to bring a certain level of commitment and accountability. And while people brought their own resources and different things that they had gathered for the meeting, they would hold back certain things. And in the military, you don't do that because it can mean the difference between life and death. So everybody brings everything 100% of the time to that team, and so that really differs sometimes, and that can be a little bit difficult for veterans as they transition in when they think they're trying to do the right thing. And if you're struggling, then I'm going to help you out. That's just the way it is. But often, depending on the environment at work, especially if you're in a union environment, I was in a union environment in one of my jobs, that was not acceptable for me to go above and beyond or outside my work.
You have an acronym HERO for some of the components you think that workplaces need to be attentive to, particularly around veterans. Would you like to talk about that a little
Sure.
bit?
So my HERO program really focuses on this military cultural competency and building that within corporations so that they can make better hiring decisions. Certainly we don't want people hiring veterans just because they're veterans or just because it's the right thing to do. These are quality employees that bring unique skill sets, global perspective, high impact decision making, and they are really good in the workplace. So the HERO program really focuses on 4 areas: HERO, hiring, engagement, retention, and optimization. Because if you cannot engage your workforce, you cannot get the most productivity out of them. If you can't retain them, you're constantly training, and so that again impacts productivity. And then optimizing. And one of the things that I like to teach is a lot of supervisors who don't have any experience with military culture aren't really sure how to tap into and access those key skills like teamwork. And if you can leverage that and tap into that, that veteran will not only engage themselves towards accomplishing the mission, they will rally their troops, so to speak, and pull the person to the right and left and in front and behind them along with them. And that's a key skill that veterans don't even know they have. Anybody who's interested in saying thank you, learning just a little bit about the military culture will make you that much more sincere to somebody who has served.
Good advice. Thank you so much. And please tune in to hear other fascinating women on MidLIFE Matters in future segments. I'm Georgian Lussier, your host. Thanks so much for joining us.